Welcome to the Conscious Radio Network, where curiosity meets conversation. Get enlightened and have fun. Share the experience with friends, family, and anyone ready for thought-provoking dialogue. You can watch our shows on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, or connect with us on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Our podcasts are also available on Libsyn, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other major platforms. Be sure to visit our official website at consciousradionetwork.com for past episodes, upcoming shows, and guest scheduling. And to our listeners around the cosmos, welcome. We're glad you're here. Subscribe, follow, and join the community.
This is the Conscious Radio Network.
Good day, everybody, wherever you might be on the spaceship we call Earth. This is Conscious Radio Network's The Séance podcast. I'm your host, the Rev Doc Meckes. If this is your first time tuning in, please click subscribe, like, share, comment, and also don't forget to follow or listen wherever you listen to your podcasts. Today, or tonight, tomorrow, whenever, but especially today or this evening on The Séance, we welcome the Michelle Henderson, a powerhouse of wisdom, heart, and inspiration. After 30 years as a teacher and behavioral analyst, Michelle transformed her life's work from educating children to guiding souls. Now an author, psychic shaman, and healer, she bridges education and spirituality, helping intuitive youth embrace their gifts with confidence and joy. Let's welcome to the Séance, Michelle Henderson. Yes!
Thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to this conversation.
Same here. Same here. I looked at the books. You got 4 books out. I'd like to touch a little bit about them.
Oh, sure.
But to start off, what was the turning point that led you from a career in education to embracing your goals as a psychic shaman?
Oh my gosh, and that is a loaded question. We're all living here on Earth. We are living, we're paying bills, we're being a mother, being a wife. So I did all of that. And then right before retirement, I told my husband, I said, you know what? I feel like I'm being called to spiritual work. It's just a calling. And I've always had that intuitiveness, as we all have it. And I've always used it in education. But I wanted to step a little bit further. I felt like God was calling me to do this. And he looked at me, he said, of course, if that's where you're being led, you need to do it. So that's what led me down the rabbit hole, as we can say. And I have not been the same person since. So then that's when I started looking at psychic medium classes. And this was right before COVID. So all I did during COVID was take classes on how to tune in your gifts as psychic mediumship.
That
So
gave you plenty of time.
Yeah, did have time. Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And with that too, I think everybody connected at some point. We all felt separated, but at the same time too, it was a blessing because it gave people an opportunity to unplug and move inward. It definitely happened to me, and I'm sure a lot of people that I've talked to thus far on the show said the same thing. It's just
I totally agree, because I feel like there was a shift of energy. Not meaning that I wish we didn't have to live through that, but it was almost like a resetting of everybody's spirituality.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people who came out whenever things started clearing up and we could actually go out. I think it really woke up a lot of people.
Career changes too. Some people just completely changed careers.
Yes.
Or left and started their own business.
Yes, I waited. So I probably waited too long, but there's always a reason for everything, because I kept feeling that spirit was calling me and I was going, not yet. So I was still not satisfied in my job. So I went back to school and did 3 different trades in education, trying to be happy in it. And I was towards the end, I was not. I burned myself out.
Yeah. How have the years in education shaped the way you approach spiritual work and channeling?
Oh, those kids teach you everything about spirituality. They are, to me, hopefully they learn something from me, but I've really learned a lot from the children. And just having that joy and because they're not in life yet, they don't have to pay the bills like everyday living.
Yeah.
And they just have the joy. And so it reminds you of that child essence that you have, that we all have, that we can actually find it and look at new perspectives of things that happen in the world, and maybe look at your life in a whole different perspective, like a child would, like magic.
Now, just to give a frame reference, what's the youngest to the eldest that you've been working with?
Okay, so as a teacher in public education, I taught fourth grade. As a behavior analyst, I worked with children from the ages of 2 to 5.
Wow. Yeah, and that's a precious age, too. When they have very little programming.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, they react. Everything, all the reactionary stuff is from the heart, from the spirit, from the soul, from deep in.
Oh, absolutely.
Genuine.
Yes. And children under the spectrum as well. That's where I learned some of my spirituality, working with the energy, because whenever I had a young child that would have a meltdown where you can't reason with them, they're totally out. They're just, because it's so emotional, and they're done. And so I learned how to use my energy to help calm a child down. And I would imagine my energy going over there and giving them a hug. And I would also, telepathy, I would think in my mind, you're going to be okay. You're safe. Everything's all right. It's okay. And I could just see the child calm down. Yeah. So they really, working with children under the spectrum, you know that they still have that divine essence.
Yeah.
And sometimes it never leaves them. They're still that innocent.
Yeah. And especially the telepathy too. I've seen that.
Yes.
I've seen many cases of that with children that are on the spectrum that just pick up stuff. Like you're about to say something, or you have this thought, and they have this look. They're looking through you, and then suddenly they call it. They're like,
oh, absolutely. I love it. Yes, absolutely. I love that that's a great example.
What message or wisdom do you feel called to share with others who may be seeking their own path of transformation? Oh,
absolutely. And I started in, like you said, in a very conservative house. And very Christian. The town had 3 different universities that were under Christian sectors. And so very conservative. So whenever I started feeling the energy and I could feel the intuitiveness, I would try to talk to people and they would shut me down. It's, oh no, we don't go there. I had to really find myself when I got older to say, you know what, that is me. It's okay. So if you are feeling any of this intuitiveness and the love and the energy, and you don't really understand it, find somebody who can help you find who you are, because it is a process that you go through. And sometimes you're afraid of it when you should not even be afraid of it. I was afraid of it for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like spirit's knocking at your door, and everybody can open up their heart chakra and their heart to this. And when you do, you cannot look back.
Yeah. There are definitely areas of Christianity, Catholic Church, that still today look at the work we do, the light work we do, and it's automatically labeled demonic.
Yes.
Church that I had ministered for some time and had been a member for a long time, all the work we did was in the name of Christ. All of it.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
Do you see a shift happening to where people are starting to realize that the work that we do is the same work that Jesus has done? He himself said that you too shall be able to perform the same miracles and do the same work that I do.
Absolutely.
It just takes time.
And it does. And I think everybody always asks me, why did we have to go through this? Why was religion taking over society? And I said, the consciousness decided to do. We had some lessons to learn through it. And when I look back at my religious background and the fear that comes with it, and my mother is still very fearful, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm glad I went through it, because that was my strength, is where I came from. And I'm glad I went through it to see where other people are also going through.
Yeah.
And yes, and I agree with you totally that people are beginning to, I don't feel the shift, and they're getting more curious and they're looking more into it.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. The verbiage is different, but it's the same. Just we teach Christ, we teach a lot of the spirituality about Christ consciousness, and it's all the same, but the verbiage is different than what the Bible or the churches bring out. So I totally agree with you.
And when someone feels the energy too, when they decide to go, let me just try it.
Yeah.
Go try it and go get with a practitioner or whatnot. And they sit down and they have a sitting, and if they walk away, whoa, this was, I don't know. It was like better than church. It was like I felt the energy. I felt the love. I felt Christ. I felt the energy.
Have you been to Lilydale?
I have not been to Lilydale.
Okay.
I've worked in the summer camp of Lilydale down here in Florida, Casadega, which was a child of Lilydale.
Okay, I know exactly, because I looked it up. Yeah. So Lilydale has services every Sunday. And so they invite people to come in and speak, a medium that will come and speak. To me, it felt like church. They were giving the same message. It was beautiful. And then afterwards, they did energy healing for anybody who was needing it. And just being in Lilydale, it's almost like a vortex. As soon as you drive in, you can feel all this energy. And it's a beautiful place. But so that's why when you said it's like being in church, I thought of Lilydale whenever I was at that sermon, because and you sing verses as well.
Yeah,
and I'm going, that's just like what we do in church.
Yep. And I have the original hymnal too. I got the spirituals hymnal that is from Lilydale and all the NSAC churches that are chartered through the NSAC or through Lilydale. But before we move forward, I'm going to bring up your website. So for those who are watching, can see it scrolling at the bottom. But for those who are listening, where can they find you?
My website mainly. And the reason is because I'm resetting my business. Spirit never lets you stay in the same place.
No.
So I'm changing my services. And I thought, okay, I've changed it so many times. I just made a website with my book so that people can find me there, and they can also email me there as well.
Awesome.
So it's www.themichellehenderson.com.
Cool. I want to go through, I'm not sure if they're in any particular order. I see them there on the shelf behind you.
Yes.
I would assume let me bring up the first one here.
Yes, and that's the first one. This is imaginative social skills connecting through drama and technology. This is actually the second edition, and this was my very first book. I was still in education, and whenever I was working with children with autism under the spectrum, I taught social skills, and I did a nonprofit through acting and through drama and through modeling. What they would do is they would practice in front of the camera, and they would have a video modeling to practice the social skill they were working on. So this can be spiritual, but I went ahead and put it on there because there are a lot of people that really don't understand the autism spectrum, especially social skills. And this is just a fun way. And if you look at it, spirituality is creativity. And so this is bringing out and accepting who they are. My children, my clients that came, they thought they were coming to drama class because we had drama masks everywhere. We had costumes, when in reality, I was teaching them social skills.
Yeah.
But I got to see them as a person, and I loved it. So I wrote the curriculum of what I was doing then.
It's amazing when you set the stage. No pun intended, but yes, when you set the stage for this type of work of creativity and stuff, how the inner child comes out, the creativity comes out, and the truth. That's the thing. The truth. That's the key word. The truth comes out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you get to see them. And because a lot of times they can speak in front of the camera all day.
Yeah.
But whenever they speak in front of you, you don't get to really see them. And then they were able to see themselves on camera, and they got more comfortable about their body and everything. So yeah, it was just a wonderful experience.
Yeah. And you never know. They might grow up and become actors or news anchors. Who knows?
There are a bunch of actors
yes.
that are under the spectrum.
Yeah. Let's see the second book here. Spiritual Nurturing for Intuitive Children.
Yeah. So whenever I started working as a psychic medium, this actually, during meditation, I just knew I had to write a book for children. And I knew exactly what it was going to look like. I knew what I needed to put in it. And this is really a guide for light workers who are going into the homes and working with children and their families who have intuitive children, because a lot of times it can be very scary and not knowing how to help them. And so what I did is, as a psychic medium, all my classes, what I did is I condensed them and into more of a child curriculum of how to teach children how to tune in or not to be afraid. Yeah. But I have some parents that go, you know what? I don't need anyone to come in my home. This guide is enough. And it just walks through what spirituality is, how important it is to have some type of spirituality in your home if you're going to have especially if you have an intuitive child. Just knowing that there's something bigger than themselves. Because we're finding out that teenagers that are very in tuned, the ones that like to color their hair different colors, they tend to get depressed because they're empathetic and they're feeling everybody's feelings and they don't know how to deal with it. And so then they start, if they don't have any type of spirituality, they look into the dark arts and they get really into that dark, lower energy.
That's where the gothic and any
there are some gothics though that dress gothic but are very spiritual. So it really depends on the child, but usually the ones that are very emotional are the ones that start diving if they don't have any support.
Okay. Now what, I feel all children of all ages are intuitive in some range.
Yes.
What for those parents out there that they don't see any of the signs of any intuitiveness that their children are expressing? Are there like exercises to where you can maybe sit down with some Zener cards or something? Hey, let's play a game.
Absolutely. So it depends on the age. And so you still need to look at the child developmentally, even if they're intuitiveness, because they're human. And so you have to look at where they are developmentally. So you do something different of a child that's 3 versus one that's 10, of course. Yeah. And so when the younger they are, I always tell the parents, don't be afraid of it. Listen to them. Listen to who they're talking to. And they can even draw, even if it doesn't look like anything. Yeah. They can draw who they're talking to or their imaginary friend or what they see in the evening time or who they're talking to. Make it into art, make it fun. As a child gets older and they're beginning to understand, you know what, I can actually do things. And they understand their emotions. They know, beginning to be able to control it. If they're 10, yes, you can pull out cards. This is always a fun game. And you can pull out cards and they can guess what card you're holding. And if they get frustrated, just because I sometimes have difficulty with that. So make it fun, make it games. But there are some exercises that they can do, like breathing. So whenever they're tuning in, I have to breathe in. I do the box breathing to relax.
Yeah.
And some children, when they start feeling the energy, they tense up and they don't know what to do. And so the breathing gets the prana and it gets the energy going and it really helps them relax into it so that they understand what's going on. But the more the parent can know, knowledge is so important so that you can help your child. If your child says, I don't want anything to do with it, I don't want to do this, I want to be with my friends when they're age 10, they want to be hip and everything, let them do that because they can always come back to it when they get older. Yeah. So there's always time for everything.
Especially if there's some divine purpose with the skills that they have and the gifts that they have, it'll happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if not, they're using it for their everyday purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. I like this next cover. It's fun.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Spiritual Adventures.
Yeah, so this is actually for children ages 8 to 12. And it's an activity book. I grew up with activity books growing up and had different puzzles and coloring and everything. And it teaches the child about different things that they may run into, like galactic beings, even. And some parents may have a difficult time with that. And it's okay if they do not to have your child do this, but this is for children who are ready. And they can also learn about crystals and the different kind of crystals, because that's another tool that they can use to help them feel comfortable around the energy. So it's just a fun way for the children to be able to say, you know what, this is what I have. This is all about me. And I'm dancing through life.
Yeah. That's interesting when you said crystals, because for the longest time, I don't know when it started, probably before high school, I always collected rocks, crystals, stones, stuff. We'd go traveling and would go cross country, visit different states, mountains, falls, all kinds of stuff. Right. And as we're walking, I just collect them. I just walk around, I'm like, oh, something will call me. I'll pick it up and I'm like, all right, put it in my pocket. I'll take it back home with me. But as I got into ecology and in high school and stuff, and then started realizing what they were, I started learning the names. And still today, I look back at that, I'm like, man.
So why do you think that you were pulled towards them?
The energy, there's something, they just speak to me. It's, hey, you need me now for a moment. I need to talk to you. It's like, hey, pick me up. I got something to say. I got a gift to give you, for a moment. It serves some sort of purpose for the highest and best at that point in time. And
I love that. And you listened.
Yeah.
You listened. You could have said, no, I don't want to rock. But you listened. Good for you.
Now the house is full of rocks. But every time I walk into a crystal shop, it's like, I don't have enough. Ooh, I want that one. I need that one.
So you're a crystal hoarder.
Yes. And now it's like, now I up it up. And for the last couple of years, I've had the crystal bowls behind me.
Oh, I love crystal bowls. Yes.
And do sound therapy and all kinds of stuff. And just,
Oh, awesome.
But crystals and I don't know, it's in nature too. What are your thoughts too with having children nowadays seems to be really detrimental when it comes to learning and opening up and tuning into these skills when it comes to all the screen time and being in front of the computer and tablets and phones and stuff like that. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so they need to have not consequences, but you need to give them a certain amount of time to be on the TV and the iPads and everything else, and get them outside and absolutely into nature, because I think what this generation is losing is the energy that you can feel in nature. And just and if they play basketball outside at the park, that's perfect. Just give them something to do outside, because it's going to be okay. They're going to be safe. You can be with them. Because I remember growing up, we had nothing. We were always outside. And whenever it started getting dark is I would go home. I knew when to go home when it got dark. Mom never knew. So when you don't have to be like,
you're home.
Yes, but I think it needs to be a family affair of going to the park or going to the pond and feed the ducks and just being there and appreciating it and just having a picnic. And I always I love this game, is just to close your eyes and talk about what you're hearing. I hear a bird, I hear a car. And that way the child is actually tuning in to what's around them. And that is so important.
Yeah. Opening up our senses, because you never know what'll unlock when
it's true.
When we think we're just listening. It's like,
yes.
Then I hear something else. I hear a voice. Oh, what do you hear? What's it
I know. Absolutely. Should I be scared?
The fourth book. Let's see, for Sarah's Spiritual Journey with Jesus.
So this is a big explanation. So you can stop me at any time. If I go on too long, stop me and I'll answer a question. Okay. So in my journey, I actually discovered plant medicine. And I'm one that I only drink wine is the most. But I was being, like you were being pulled to crystals, I was actually being pulled to this plant energy. And I find out it is actually, they're teachers in this plant medicine, ancient teachers. And I had a spiritual teacher that said, I was at a group conference one time, and she said, I am going to make it available for plant medicine for whoever wants to have it in their journey. And I am just like, yeah, sign me up. Okay, so during my first journey, a lot of healing taking place. So the more healing that took place, the more knowledge I was receiving from the divine. It's okay, once you get rid of that, here's some more knowledge coming in. And I was always very close to Jesus growing up. He was like my friend. Anytime I got in trouble, I'd go into my room and I would talk to Jesus, and I could just feel his energy. And so after the plant medicine journey, then I was meditating at home, and I had Jesus and a lady named Sarah that came in, and he said, we want you to channel her story. And of course I'm going, I don't know who Sarah is, but yes, I'll do. Absolutely. So I felt, okay, I've got a mission. I can do this. Yeah. But they did ask permission. They asked permission for me to do this. And so I really felt like I needed to turn my office into more of a sacred temple per se. And I told my husband, you cannot enter my office until I get done with this book. And he goes, okay. Yeah. And so what I would do is light a candle. And I actually wore a headpiece because I felt like I needed to wear a headpiece if I was going to bring over someone biblical that actually walked with Jesus during his teachings. And that's how I would trans-channel, bring her in. And I would write with my left hand. So I did automatic writing. And I could feel everything that she felt in her story. It was like watching a movie, but I was actually living in the movie whenever I was writing. And at one time, I found out who she was and some things that my belief system was totally different. And I had to stop. I said, Jesus, I don't know if I can continue. This is different than what I grew up with. I don't want to make people mad. I don't want to be controversy. I've got to stop. And so I stopped for a couple of days, and I really did some self-reflection. And I thought, you know what? This is not my story. This is her story. And so then I felt, okay, I needed to continue. So what I did is I got my feelings away from it, and I wrote it from her perspective, of course, and just, it wasn't my story. I didn't own it. So I felt much better writing the story.
Yeah.
Did you want me to go into the story or stop right now?
The face, the portrait that's on the cover, is that as close as you saw her in your mind's eye when you were channeling her?
Okay, so I was channeling her as being very young, and yes, with dark hair. Yeah. But this is AI. So what I did, and it was incredible because I thought AI gave me several pictures. And when I saw this one, it had energy coming out. Yeah. So I said, this is the one I've got to choose. And whenever I'm at a holistic fair, people see the cover and they're drawn to it. So something in the portrait, it has her essence in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Huh. Yeah, it does. I feel it.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, definitely pick up where you left off as far as.
Okay. Yeah. So in the story, she meets Jesus. And I know everybody has a different perspective, different story of who this person is. And so I always tell people, if it doesn't resonate with you, what you need to, not the story, look at the message behind the story. Yeah. And so she meets Jesus as she's making pottery at the marketplace. And he really loved her energy and said, you know what, I want you to come to camp tonight and I want you to help me minister. And she said, oh, absolutely. And she kept saying, Jesus was really handsome. And so I had to laugh at that. I went, okay. And I'm going, I don't need to know that anyway. So she really helped Jesus. And I'm not going to explain really what happened in the beginning, but he helped heal her and everything because something happened somebody was very aggressive towards her and she didn't feel clean, and he helped clear that. But anyway, so she continued. She said, I want to continue with you. After a while, one night, Jesus came to her and he said, can you come with me? I've got some people I want you to meet. And she said, oh, of course. So they go down into a mountain range, and there are these light beings. They're not angels. Now, granted, there are angels still around, but these were galactic beings. Wow. And she's going, I've never seen this. So she's really learning herself about new things. And she said, Jesus, I thought you were doing this all on your own. And he goes, oh, no, I'm having help. Everybody helps one another in the spiritual world. And they asked her, the galactic beings asked her, we want you to change your name to Mary, if this is okay. We're changing your spiritual journey. Huh. And she said, okay, of course, if this is what I need to do to help in the mission. So she wakes up and she's in bed and she's going, did this actually happen? And Jesus comes to her and says, yes, it actually does. And people are calling her Mary. And then they said, I think it's great that you're married to Jesus. And she's going, what? And Jesus said, yes, you're now my spiritual wife. Everybody remembers you. What the galactic beings did was reset the timeline. And so this is who it was, as Mary Magdalene is coming through. And again, I was having difficulties with it, but her main purpose of this whole story was how Jesus needed female energy to be with him to help finish his mission. And she teaches cross-consciousness right alongside of him. And so that's where things change. It's almost like a Mandela effect, that things change and people remember things a certain way.
Wow. Now I can see, how, like you said before, how this could upset certain groups and stuff like that. Yeah.
So Christ consciousness is definitely taught in the book. And what she mainly wants to talk about is the essence of Christ consciousness. And Christ consciousness is not religion. It is the energy and what Jesus taught. Yeah. And so there's 3 different elements. Is truth, know thyself, get to really know who you are. Not what other people think you are, just like remembering who you are. Yeah. And then the second one is knowledge. Once you find out who you are, your eyes will open up and you'll see things for the first time. And so then the third one, and you got to use this knowledge in everyday terms. So how am I going to use this knowledge? And then the third one is love, like Christ's love. This is how you learn how to forgive, not only others, but yourself. Yeah. And so I tell people, this is not to change the Bible in any way. This is an extension to think, what if this actually happened? And with each chapter, there are questions so that you can reflect on each chapter. And so it's more spiritual and it's more message driven. And at the very end, there's 19 messages that she gave to me to give to the world. And so they were just messages from her and the collective.
Wow. Man. Can you share one?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And now it's long. Yeah, let me find. And I've got to get my glasses. How we get.
Oh, yes. I'm facing that problem now, too. I was like, now I got to use glasses for everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it does get. Okay. Oh, okay. I think this will be good because this is what you're awakening your spiritual vision, because that's what your book is about, is spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
And okay, so dear ones, Sarah, and she calls herself Sarah in these. And the reason is she doesn't want to be worshipped. She wants to be considered a different entity than Mary Magdalene whenever she's preaching. Okay, so Sarah and the collective are here with you once again, and we are grateful that you have chosen to listen to our message. Our hope is that each message fills you with energy, love, and a vision for a life rich in spiritual depth. In the fast-paced world of Earth, it is easy to forget the importance of having a vision, a spiritual guiding light that shapes your journey. We encourage you to think of this vision as a movie playing in your mind. Just as you can replay scenes from a movie, so too can you visualize and immerse yourself in the spiritual vision. In the business of everyday life, many are absorbed in the latest technology, believing they are connected and have a clear vision. But true spiritual vision is not found in external distractions. It is found in the connection with your soul, with the earth's energy and the heavens above. Each person's vision is unique. When Jesus taught around the campfire, he guided us to leave behind our earthly worries and focus on the higher truths. This is not always easy, especially when confronted with suffering, but it is through this connection that we can help alleviate that suffering. Jesus showed us how to visualize, to connect deeply with the divine energy within and around us to create a vision that transcends the physical realm. Do you want me to continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. To hold this vision, remember that we are all one. As we sat around the campfire, Jesus taught us that we are all streams of the same divine light, each carrying a piece of God's love. As we transition from this earthly realm to the next, we carry the lessons we've learned to the heavens and return with the divine energy, even if we do not consciously remember. This is why newborns are so deeply connected to the spiritual realm. They bring with them the fresh energy of the heavens and can see the souls of those around them. When a baby is held by their parents, they see beyond physical and feel the pure love of their souls. Even if the parents may not have fully embraced that love, the baby radiates divine energy, teaching and reminding them of love's true essence. Babies are powerful because they are untouched by the distractions of the world. They are pure, connected to the source. We must learn to connect as they do, leaving behind our earthly problems to focus on our spiritual vision. It takes time and energy. Through patience and practice, you can remember why you are here and what your soul's purpose is. Visualize it, feel it deeply, and it will come to you. In the meantime, simply sending love energy out into the world is a powerful act. It is like a flower opening its petals, allowing your heart to open to the divine and the angels. Jesus taught us the importance of opening our hearts, and as we sat around the campfire, I often visualized a flower blooming within me. As a flower opened, I felt the energy of the divine flowering in, connecting me to the angels and to the heavens. Jesus explained that one day these teachings would be written in a book, and each person who reads it would receive the message they need at the moment. This is why interpretations may differ, and it's important not to judge, but to understand that each soul receives what it needs. When you encounter someone who sees things differently, listen with love and compassion. Their message may offer you a new perspective, and by listening, you honor their journey. Remember, we are all part of a togetherness tribe created by the divine to support and learn from one another. When we come together, our vision comes clearer and our understanding deeper, and the spiritual movie of our lives more vivid. Sarah and the collective are sending you light and energy as we speak. We invite you to trust in the essence, to open the flower of your heart, and to see the vision that your soul needs to see. Go forth in peace, love, and divine connection.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely subscribe to all of that.
Yes, that was for you, my dear, because yes, that's what you stand for. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Let's see. So before we wrap up the show, again, where can people find you and what they can expect when they do go to your website?
Okay, so for now, they can go to www.themichellehenderson.com. And right now they can expect to it's mainly to look at the books, to find information about myself, but it's also to connect with me. So if you need to connect with me, you can email me until I figure out, or whenever I know, or what direction that spirit wants me to go, then I will start offering services. But I wanted to have a place where you could connect with me.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you have to buy anything. It's mainly just a hub of connection.
Yeah. Cool. So before I wrap up the show, I always ask our guests what they have as a takeaway for our audience today, some words of wisdom.
Okay. You want Michelle's word of wisdom or Sarah's? Or
either or.
Okay. What I've really learned in my journey is what's really important right now is to really listen to yourself, find your authentic self, because you've got to love yourself so that other people will love you. And this will also bring up your energy. And if you bring this energy out into the real world and try to find people where they are, that's going to be so important. And to look at different perspectives of where they are. And you're going to learn so much from that.
Yeah, yeah. And not allowing people's energy to get in the way of your own energy.
Absolutely.
If you feel it, you just go. We know it's not good. And I get that all the time. It's like you walk in a room, you're like, oh man, what's
right
here? Oh man, where's the sage?
Yeah, if that happens, you can always be the light of the room.
Yep.
You can always change that frequency. And they may start feeling uncomfortable and may leave, but you have changed the energy of that room. Yeah. And who knows, maybe you put that little spark in that person to find their energy, because you don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they're carrying. And so just being the light for them is enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Michelle, namaste.
Namaste.
Blessings, my friend.
Blessings.
And keep us up to date on changes to the website and any new books out there that might be coming down the pike. Let us know.
Okay.
Welcome back anytime. You know where to reach us.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. And everybody, thank you. Thank you for watching Conscious Radio Network's The Séance podcast. Until next time, we will see you then.